Hey there, what's going on? Kate McShea here, coming to you from my home office in Vancouver, Washington, and I hope that you are doing well. You probably came across this video because you are looking into MLM sponsoring. So you're either looking into how to sponsor more reps into your multi-level marketing or network marketing business, or you're just looking at, different things that you can do in order to, again, sponsor more people, because it's always a great way, always a great place to learn and develop more, because as we know, in multi-level marketing or network marketing, the more people you sponsor into your business, the higher chance you have of creating a better residual income for yourself. Now, what I'm going to address today is one little word that actually stops most people, the majority of people, from sponsoring anybody into their business. And what that one little word is, and it's so detrimental to most, but what I want to do today is I want to teach you to actually love that word. And so to take that little teeny tiny two-letter word from a word that you totally hate to a word that you're actually looking for people to say, or okay if people say it. And again, that word is no. And since from when we were little, we were saying, no, don't touch that, no, don't do that, no, that's bad. And so no was a word that we learned that if someone said that to you, it's something that you don't want to do. So it makes sense in a way that when people get into multi-level marketing, that the amount of times that you hear no in this business is a lot. And what happens to a lot of people who are very new to the business is that they start hearing that word over and over and over again, and in the back of their head, they start to second guess if they should even be in the business at all. Raise your hand. I'll raise mine, definitely. That's the way I felt. Raise your hand if that's how you felt in the beginning, or that's how you're feeling right now. Is that the amount of times that you hear no, it makes you second guess if this is a good thing that you should be involved with. But what I'm here to tell you today is that there's certain things that you can do to shift your mindset to, when you hear no, to make it not be a big deal. So here are the 3 things that I'm going to offer up to you. The first thing I'm going to tell you is take the pressure off of yourself. You do not need to get every single person you talk to say yes. Take that pressure off, because I'm telling you that you will get more no's than yeses, and it's okay. Not everyone is going to like what you've got going on, and you just got to let it go, because I think all of us know who are in this profession that it's pretty amazing, but not everybody's going to get it, and that's okay. So take the pressure off. If you're making 50 calls and you talk to 15 people and 15 people tell you no, don't worry about it. Stop looking for yeses, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 tips, and then I'm going to give you one final thought that really helped me change my way of thinking, because I'm telling you, when I used to pick up the phone in the beginning, I would literally be shaking. The phone would weigh like 500 pounds, and half the time I wasn't making my calls when I should have been, because I was afraid of that word no, and that fear of rejection. So here are my 2 tips for you. First thing is decide a number of no's that you want a day. 5 no's, 10 no's, 20 no's, 15 no's, however many no's you want to get each day, and find something, pennies, nickels, like little counters, poker chips, whatever that you can have that's small enough that either you could keep in your pocket or you can line up at your desk. And what you're going to do is every single time you get a no, you're going to take that penny. I used to line mine up on my desk because I did a lot of cold calling. And I would line up my 20 pennies, and every time I got a no, I would slide it over. And I wasn't allowed to stop my cold calling throughout that day until I got all my 20 pennies over to the other side. I know a lot of people who do a lot of offline and are reaching out to people in the community. They put them in their pocket, and they can't go home until all their 20 or all their 10 chips or pennies or whatever, 5 of them, go into their other pocket. And the reason why this is so helpful is it's tangible. It's something that you can keep your hands on, that you actually can manually, you can see, you can move, that, you're getting this no. And I kind of like it where it's like, I mentally am thinking, all right, well, that's a no, but now I'm going to move on to the next one. And I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to move on, as opposed to like feeling like that that no is the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. To me now, it's like, all right, well, you know what? He helped me or she helped me move one of my pennies over. That's great. Let's talk to the next person. Okay, they said no. You know what? No big deal. They're helping me move my penny over to the next one. I only have 18 more no's now to go. So thinking of it in a more positive way. The second thing I wanted to tell you in this is especially for calling, but you can actually use it for offline as well, or any online connections that you're making. Use your first 10 connections with people. So whether it's 10 phone calls, 10 people that you reach out to in the community, use those first 10 as a warm-up. Or you can do your first 5 if you're not ready for 10. Use those first 5 or 10 calls or 5 or 10 connections as a warm-up, as a way to practice, as a way to kind of just go through your routine of what you're going to say, how you're going to create a relationship with them, build your rapport, and then ask them if they're open to a side project if it doesn't interfere with what they're currently doing. So use those 10 as a warm-up, because I find that, and myself included in the beginning, you're so worried about that first phone call being a no that most people don't pick up the phone, or most people don't interact with that person out in public. So just make sure that those first 10, when people think of them as a warm-up, there's not as much pressure there. So when you think of it as a warm-up, it just takes the pressure off of actually ever being able to pick up the phone or walk up and approach somebody. So again, using pennies or whatever as ways to count how many no's you've had throughout the day, using your first 5 or 10 calls or connections with people as warm-ups, and then it doesn't matter if you get yeses or no. And then the last thing is to remember that this is a numbers game, and so the more people you talk to, the more chances you have of getting someone to say yes. And so if you think about it like this, and this is what one of our mentors taught us, and it made a huge difference in the way that I kind of approached just connecting with anybody, was before I got on the phone with someone, before I spoke, before I reached out to someone in public, I repeated in my head, I'm looking for people who are open. And that's it. So I'm not looking for people who are closed-minded, who don't want to hear about what I've got going on. I'm not looking for them. I'm just looking for people who are open. And so the cool thing about that is that if someone says no to me, it's not a big deal, because I don't really need them right now. I don't need that negativity. I'm going for yeses. So if they say no to me, not a big deal. I move on to the next person. They say no, not a big deal. Because the more people that say no to you, there's going to be a yes coming your way at some point. And if you do it consistently every single day, so you use those pennies, you use those counters, you use your first 10 connections as a warm-up, and you just remember that you're looking for people that are open, you're going to get yeses your way. And then those yeses are going to convert to people joining your team or buying a product at some point, because you're going to get better with what you're doing every single time you're making a call or you're connecting with somebody. So I hope that this helps you a little bit, because I really do feel like one of the number one problems with people sponsoring anybody into their multi-level marketing company is the fact that they won't even do the steps that it takes to sponsor someone because they're too afraid of that word no. So I really hope that this helps you kind of overcome that word no. Try a couple of these strategies. Comment your feedback. Let us know if they work out for you. I'd love to know if they work out for you. Shoot us any questions if you have them. And then also share it with your friends or any of your teammates if you feel like it's something, these tips are something that they could definitely need and use. So I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I hope you come back and visit soon, and check out our other videos if you're on our YouTube channel, or our other blog posts if you're on our blog, to get some other content that might help you out as well. So take care and have a great one.